And look at here. This is an 03 RXDI. And had a couple of problems, had a bad starter, so that wasn't very exciting. So I changed the starter. You had to actually pull the exhaust off and disconnect the throttle body, pull that plastic housing off, and had to pull the fuel rail, everything to get in there. But anyway, I got the new starter in and working. But now for the actual problem of the machine, is running terrible, hard start. These things are never hard start. And I believe, no maintenance light, but and then maintenance came on. It sounds like it's only running on one cylinder, so maybe I'll check compression first on both cylinders, and then we'll go to Can-Do Pro. Looking at the plugs, both of them are quite wet, so I'll clean those up. I'll do a quick crank over and see. Okay, let's check compression. And I gotta hold the throttle open. Oh yeah, that's good. And number 2. And good. So we got a good viable engine. Let's hook up the computer. DI faults, wrong pattern sensed on encoder. Oh boy. Is there anything active? Nine, intake air pressure. Let's clear all this stuff out. Then we'll fire it up, start from scratch. Did it have anything about bat volts? Nothing. Okay, let's fire her again and see what we get. There we go. I think that was the case of the nasty, dirty spark plugs. And no more faults. Activate, let's just check everything. Yep. I don't think you hear anything on the coils. No. Everything is clean. I wonder what the deal was. Starter was the worst part. Okay, I think we're gonna run her on the hose. I'm gonna check the bat volts to see if that rectifier is charging or not. Oh, here we go again. He's on the hose. charge it. I gotta get some alligator clips to clip stuff on. Everything's shaking all over and I can't get a proper check on everything, so let's do that. All right, just a quick fire up here. Seems about right, nothing extreme there, no high bat volts, so that's good. One thing I did notice is that the line coming off the air compressor feels kind of rough on the bottom. And if that's got any kind of split in it whatsoever, this thing will run like a dog. I'm wondering if that's why it's a little off on the startups. I'm gonna pull that hose off, we're gonna have a look right now. Okay, it was held on with a zip tie and barely on there. It doesn't look like it's split there, but I'm going to put that on with an Oetiker clamp. Because if that leaks air at all, that would be a big problem with startup. I don't see anything else up here. Everything else looks good. I've had that before. Okay, let me get a clamp on that. I'm going to trim a hair off. Hopefully it's not too short, but oh yeah, that's nice and snug now. Try her again. What in the heck? Maintenance. Maintenance. It's in limp mode. I wonder if those spark plugs are fouling. I think that's the low. That's just the typical RXDI startup low bat error that comes up. Let's try it again. Water on. Beauty. Water going off. Relief valve is fuel pressure relief is working. And that's that mystery startup of one start is good, One start is bad, one start good, one start bad. And we're back on the Can-Do Pro, and we have an active code. Intake air pressure sensor out of range. So that's what must be making it run bad. Diagnostic cap. Wrong pattern is just because it's idling so rough. So I typically ignore that, but that's active. So that's our problem. And I got to get at that sensor and see if the clip is not on there. It's not clipped on properly. Something. We'll check it out right now. There she is right there. Let's just unplug it and plug it back in. Everything looks good in there. See if it's still an active fault. Read it again. Will it read it again? Let's try clear faults. Be nice to find something wrong. Intake air pressure sensor. Let's see if I got another one. It's a 061. No. 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 How do I have so many of the other type? Ah, what's that? Ha ha! Ha ha! Let's put this on. See if that changes anything. I just clicked it on there, so I didn't install it. We'll see if that clears the code. P0106. Still says active. Let me try firing it up for a second and then shutting it off. Yeah, you see it occurred. So I wonder if something's going on with that. Because now it's not active anymore by starting the machine. Is that faulty? The one that's on there? Maybe. Let's see if I get a start up again or it runs bad. Now she's firing right up every time after pulling that connector off. Just going to pull that out and have a good look at it. I think we can get that back in there. I do. Let's get this up on the bench and have a peek. Just want to see if there's anything inside this or what. She looks clean and green. All right, pop her back in. Okay, she's back in the ski. Reconnect the power or the connector. Starting. I seem to suspect that. There, now it's running crap again. What if I take that off? That's going to just throw a code for sure. Okay, let me grab the other one and we'll just clip it on and see what happens. Just clipped on and sitting there. Okay, I'm gonna swap those out and see if that makes any change. Smoke in here, new map sensor in. And again. And again. Do we have any codes? Do I have to restart it? Maybe I do. Checking faults. Any current faults? Atmospheric pressure sensor out of range occurred. Kind of acting a little bit too like some dirty connectors. Try a start now. Well, I'm going to test this a few more times, but it seems like that problem has gone away. And that would be sweet. Well, after trying to get it to start when I got down to the lake, no go. So then I realized, I don't think it was the map sensor. I think it's to do with the fuel pump. Because if I put this on, the tether on 4 or 5 times, it'll start and run mint. No problem. But it loses pressure when you shut it off, and then it's a real pain in the neck to get it to go again. So I am going to hook up right there where those connectors are with this fuel gauge, pressure gauge, see what we're getting for fuel pressure and see if it's dropping off, because there's definitely something going on. It's a fuel or air issue, so may as well get that hooked up now. All right, got the gauge hooked up. Goes into the fuel rail there, all the way around through here, through the filter, out of the tank. I want to see what happens with the gauge, and hopefully I don't get any leaks this time. I had a lot of trouble with this gauge, so that's low. So far, that's exactly where it should be. Let me open the door. We'll fire it up and see what happens. Not really falling off, or is it? Take the tether off for a minute. So now, if I start it up, dropping, dropping, dropping. Let me take the tether off, tether back on, see if I still get a maintenance light. No maintenance light. See, nothing. I don't know if I got a fuel or maybe an air leak. Time to do some more investigating. Just watching the gauge. It's supposed to have 26 pounds of fuel pressure, and it bled right down to 26 pounds. So now we got a mystery on our hands. Do we have an air supply issue, air leak somewhere? I don't know. All right, got her all apart again. So there's the starter down there, and it has separated in the housing. And so when I put the starter back in, which was an Amazon starter, part of it is left inside the housing. I had no way of getting it out, so I put the same starter back in, which worked for about 10 starts, and then it quit. So now I'm disassembling everything again, pulling that out, and I got to see if I can get that starter part out. If I can't get that out, we're done. We cannot do any more because I got to be able to start and stop the machine. So let's see if I can get that out of there. And that ain't fun. Will that reach? That gets that one. No, see, everything is very, very awkward to work on. See, this one jacks me up against the throttle body. The short one's too short. That wants to sit right there. There's one. And that bolt will fall into the bottom of the motor. Now we got to get the one underneath that you can't visually even see. Oh, and the socket fell off and went under the motor. Socket retrieved. I don't think that's working. And socket fell into the motor. Yes, one nicely oiled socket. Okay, that is out. Bolt is good. These jobs. And Operation Starter Extraction, I disconnected the power. Look what's missing. I'll show you. That is still in the engine. So we got to somehow get that out. And look at how that's all ground down. That one is toast. Show you what we got to get out. Can you see in there? Because I can't see anything. Can't even get a flashlight down there. But hopefully you can see. I got to get that thing out of there. What's the approach on that? Possibly a crazy rigged up thing like this? I don't know. Got no room anywhere. Don't think that's budging. Wow. Got to go through the front housing. That's not good. And that's it. That little piece pushed right through, went right into the mag cover. So now I have to get this out of the way, get the mag cover off, lift the engine, remove the front engine mount, all for a broken starter. And then we got to work on repairing the machine. Sweet! Okay, bolts are off. I want to see if we can get that cover off. Just throwing on some gloves. That is an interesting look in here. Oh yeah, and look what we have right down here. How do I get it out? That's it. Busted right off. So I think I'm going to pull the Bendix out of here too and have a quick peek at it. That looks like a brand new stator. Woohoo. Nope, because even if I pull that off, it won't pull out. I do not believe without pulling the flywheel. So we got to hope that the gears are good. Look at all the rust in there though. Not good. Plastic wheel adapters back on for the oil pump. And now we just reverse the process and put all 10 jillion screws back in. All right, now we're back to where we can start testing everything again to find out why it won't run. I have put an air gauge on. We checked the fuel gauge previously, getting the right pressure, but all the air was bleeding off super fast. So now I've got a gauge on this side, and when we crank it over, that should go right up to 100. Nothing, not enough to even start it, and the air's coming out as fast as it's going in. Needs to be up there. So that's the problem. We're losing air somewhere. I don't know where. But we need to get more air pressure. So I might have to take the compressor head off, which is another nightmare. We have to take the fuel rail, get that out of the way. So yeah, one bad job leads to the next bad job. Okay, so just to verify the condition, I just put a pipe. Got the air hose going in from the air compressor. I'm going to pump about 80 psi in that side. What do I got it set at? Yeah, right around 80. So let's see if she fires up now. Nope. Not liking it. That almost seemed better. Just turning the air up a little bit. I want to hear it leaking out the back. That's what we hear. as I let go of the air, off it goes. So I'm going to do a little better setup because it seems like we're getting better. Let's just see. Okay, here's where science goes out the window. Now we know when I shoot the air into the injector at 80 pounds, it will run, but it still has that, you got to try and start it like 3, 4, 5 times to get it to build up enough pressure. So there's a chance that there's something wrong with this regulator right here, or this one leaking for that matter. Or there's a defective air injector, but I doubt that because it will eventually run. So I'm gonna put a substitute fuel rail in here just for fun because I have the part here just to see if it makes any difference. But this is where it gets a little bit difficult, you know. So let me swap that out and then we'll see if there's any change. Okay, here we are on the bench, and before I swapped that rail out, I decided to pull his injector apart. Look at all the stuff in here. That's packed with rust, and that regulator is packed with rust. So there is a good chance that that's what's going on here. Not 100% sure, so I'm going to clean it all up and see what happens. Okay, new rail is all on and bolted up. All the brackets, locking brackets are on. I'm gonna have to prime this probably 3 or 4 times because that rail was emptied. That sounds like it's up to pressure. Test start. Nope. Still got a bit of a misfire to it. I think I want to run it on the hose now. I got a maintenance light that is staying on. So I'll have to see what that is and clear that code out before I can do anything, or it's going to run in limp mode. I wonder why it's in maintenance mode. Forgot to put that back on. That'll throw a maintenance code every time. Let's plug that in, try it again. Me. No flashing. She's sounding better. Oh, threw a maintenance code as soon as I did that. Let's get her on the hose and see what we see, but seems promising. Well guys, unfortunately, I don't have any more video on this machine. I hooked it up on the hose and same problem again. And I kind of got to the point where I had put 3 days into it, tons of hours, replacing parts, checking things. It just seemed like one problem led to another, which led to another. And I noticed every single cover I opened, someone had been in there. So I really don't know what the issue is with that engine. Even when it ran, it would idle up and down like it had air leaks. I don't know. And the only way I would know how to fix it is just to take everything apart and start all over again. And I just wasn't willing to do that. So at least we got the starter situation sorted out. I've never seen that before, but I've heard that from other people where the Amazon starters, the ends snap off. I think in this case it was caused by that bracket that wasn't bolted on properly. I found that actually laying in the bilge the first time. So I think the bolts came out of that back bracket, and then that was too much for the starter to handle, and it just snapped right off. Anyway, we're moving on. I got lots of other projects, but basically I had 2 back-to-back failures. The no spark one, which I never got to the bottom of, and now this one. So if I get an update on that of actually what the problem is, I'll let you know, but I just couldn't put any more time in it. We've got many other projects underway. So anyway, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Thanks.